How's my hair?
It's perfectly masked. Really bad under the hat, but perfectly masked.
Oh boy, it's a good thing we were going to record yesterday morning, and I got really mad about another Pokemon website claiming to be LGBTQ friendly when they've done things that aren't before in the past. They were doing it for social points. So I got so mad that we weren't able to record yesterday. And luckily, last night they revealed the Stellar Pokemon, which are like LGBTQ cards because they're rainbow colored.
Rainbow Turtle got revealed for Pride.
Yeah, they didn't do it on purpose, obviously, but it's just funny timing. So we have NAIC coming up this week, and I finally get to meet you in person and play.
Yeah.
And I'm very much looking forward to that.
That will be a blast.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody went to LA Regionals this week.
Oh,
so
yeah.
How did that go?
Yeah, I went. It was fun. I talked to people. I didn't actually get to play because they didn't have any Twilight Masquerade build-in battle boxes, and I didn't want to play an older set, so I didn't really play in the side events. But I walked around, talked to people. It was fun.
Okay. And I saw that you got dragged into an interview.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, I got interviewed. TPCI interviewed me on the stream. It was funny because I hadn't been there 5 minutes and I got grabbed into the back room to be interviewed. It was cool. And I talked in the interview how I was at the very first tournament on the Queen Mary in 1999. That was the first tournament ever in the US. And I was just talking about how big the tournament scene has gotten in recent years and how Pokemon unites all of us and, yada, yada, yada. And it was fun. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely a highlight to get to share that. And as somebody who's been here every day, I feel like a old young relic.
Also, and this is related to NAIC, I am running 2 tournaments at NAIC in my Eternal format. I will have an archive 800 plus, so 12 decks of decks for people to borrow. So John, if you're willing to borrow
I was about to ask.
You can join in. So jump in, join us for the Eternal Format Tournament. I will share links to John later so that he can put them in the description. But there'll be 2 different tournaments, one on Saturday, one on Sunday for you to jump in on Eternal. If you want to play in real life and kind of enjoy
Saturday.
A format that incorporates the entire 25-year span of the TCG in English.
So it's unlimited, but with some restrictions.
Unlimited with a ban list and a couple of new deck building rules, but for the most part, it's fairly straightforward. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, I am looking forward to that, and I don't know what we're going to do about the podcast episode next week because we'll both be there, but maybe we'll just skip it.
We'll just have to record it live and go with it.
No, I'm not good at that.
Grab your phone, John. Grab your phone. God. Come on, let's go.
All right, let's jump into this week's news. So last night, as I was at the LA Pride event, there was a reveal of Stellar Miracle. Came out of nowhere. So Stellar,
it wasn't out of nowhere though. I expected a reveal. I just didn't.
Well,
I'd given up on it before they finally revealed it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So Stellar Miracle has been revealed. We've known about this set for, I want to say, almost a year now. It'll release in Japan on July 19th. As we reported before, it'll feature Terapagos EX and Stellar Tera Pokemon. It'll contain 102 cards before secret rares. So you can see here on the booster pack artwork there. God, I just have to say, these Stellar Pokemon are just so messy looking, just visually.
You're talking about like the Tera Pokemon?
Yeah, well, yeah. Now we have Stellar on top of it, where they're wearing the really detailed crown that has all the type jewels, and then there's like the baby Terapagos on top that's also got a jewel above it. It's just so, to me, it's visually very messy, but whatever.
It's visual vomit.
Yeah, it's visual vomit. So here's the Terapagos EX, which is
it makes him look like a bug.
I don't. It's just ugly to me. I don't like.
It's Terapagos EX, the rainbow cockroach.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like.
It does look like a
Sorry?
cockroach. It
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah, it does.
It's like you're supposed to be a pretty turtle, and instead you're a roach.
It's not. I don't like it.
Talk about a glow down.
So, I spent some time writing this description to make sure I was getting it all in there, but all the details. Stellar Pokemon are Tera Pokemon featuring powerful attacks that cost multiple types of energy, similar to the old Crystal Pokemon from the E series. So, as you can see here, they do not have a special mechanic label, such as Stellar. Thus, they can't be targeted by cards or effects beyond their Terra label. They're purely a thematic mechanic. Visually, the cards are distinguished by a white background with rainbow-colored borders. The Pokemon are wearing the Stellar crown from the video games. So that's everything that we know about them. And that's pretty much it, actually. It's funny that the Tera Pokemon, Stellar Pokemon, they aren't really faithful to how they are in the video games mechanic-wise. They're just kind of their own thing in the card game. So,
yeah, Tera and Stellar have both been huge letdowns in the TCG, unfortunately.
In terms of being faithful to the video games. But maybe not
at least we finally have something interesting mechanically for the Tera Pokemon.
Yeah.
Finally.
So let's just get into the card reveal. So what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about this murderous Hoot Hoot.
Hoot Hoot?
Yeah, you see that attack name?
Triple stab? Oh.
It's going to take you out back and shank you.
It's like a... it's like a peck attack. That's what I'm assuming that's what the stab is.
That's its actual name, though.
Or is it going to stab
There's only one other Pokemon that I saw that had this attack in Japanese, and it's like a Weedle. So it's really funny to me. Anyway,
they're going to change
the
that
one
probably.
we actually care about here is Noctowl. So Noctowl has the ability Jewel Hunt. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, if you have any Tera Pokemon in play, you may search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then Speedwing. So the ability on this is so good. If anybody played with Inteleon from Sword and Shield base set, this is a very similar ability. Inteleon was obviously a stage 2. This is stage 1. You have to have a Tera Pokemon in play for this, but I don't think that's a big of a deal considering the power of this effect. Now, the thing to be aware of is Inteleon and Drizzile. Drizzile got 1, same effect otherwise. The big power that they had in their format was that they had access to Scoop Up Net. And Scoop Up Net lets you pick them up and then reuse them. Obviously, as of what we've seen so far, Noctowl doesn't really have that. The closest thing you could do is use like a Sharon's Care to pick this up and then reuse it that way. But that would burn your supporter card for the turn. So still very, very good effect. You kind of have to have that planning, at least based on how it's used right now. With no Scoop Up Net, you have to kind of plan when you need those effects, drop the Noctowl, grab what you want out of your deck, and then use those cards. But this card is super, super good, and the artwork is awesome.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say that it looks like they instructed the artists to, incorporate the stellar phenomenon into the set. Like this Noctowl is obviously witnessing a Pokemon terastallizing as a stellar Pokemon, as you can see by the rainbowy colored light on its wings.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty art.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Then
we have Fan Rotom. Fan Rotom is also a pretty good card. Has the ability Fan Call. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 colorless Pokemon.
It's once during your first turn, right?
Once during your first turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. You can't use more than 1 Fan Call ability during your turn. So basically, you're able to grab a bunch of basic Pokemon out and throw them down or put them into your hand, however you please. That could be a couple of Hoot Hoots and a Noctowl. That could be 3 Hoot Hoots. That could be, whatever it is that you feel like you need your turn 1. And you just throw them down. And that would be great if you are playing Terapagos, which we'll look at here in a little bit. But Terapagos would absolutely adore this.
I don't know about this artwork.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. But I have, because of my experience with the set Ultra Prism, I have come to absolutely detest Rotom as a Pokemon. So there's that.
Why?
Because every single time I tried to pull anything I wanted, I got Rotom. That set had like 4 or 5 Rotoms in it, and all I could pull was Rotom.
Oh.
Ever.
It sullied your view.
And Yes, I detest Rotom now because Rotom ruined everything for me. The only thing it didn't do is murder my parents, and even then, it's probably working on that.
It didn't shank them.
All right. No, it didn't. It didn't triple stab them. Up next is Bouffalant. Bouffalant has the ability Curly Wall. If you have another Bouffalant in play, your basic colorless Pokemon takes 60 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon after applying weakness and resistance. You can't apply more than one Curly Wall ability at a time. This is super good. There is another Bouffalant from, I believe it's Lost Origin, that has some good attacks that you would want to use in a deck like this. So that's also good to have access to. And then you have Boundless Power, which does some damage. So you could have this, you could have the attacking Buffalo to do some shenanigans. And then this also, the Curly Wall effect, will help protect your Terapagos. So your Terapagos is going to basically have an effectively 60 HP boost from this ability, which is pretty nice. Although, to be aware, Shred is Shred, and Shred will always be Shred. So if a Pokemon has a Shred or a Shred-like effect, it's going to go right through that damage reduction. But otherwise, minus 60.
Are people really going to put 2 Bouffalant in play to get this effect?
For a minus 60, it could be mathematically relevant. Mm. Yeah, they could. And because of the Stadium card we'll look at later, I don't think that's that big of an ask.
Mm. Okay. Now here's Terapagos.
Yeah. Terapagos is a Tera Pokemon, so it's protected from effects on the bench, or damage on the bench, rather. You have Unified Beatdown for double colorless, 30 times damage. If you go second, you cannot use this attack during your first turn. This attack does 30 damage for each of your benched Pokemon. And then for Grass, Water, Lightning, Crown, Opal, 180 damage. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic non-colorless Pokemon. So pretty specific extra attack there.
Yeah,
I think you're really going.
I was going to say all these attacks in this set feel very wordy. They're so detailed. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, they want to make sure they don't break things too much. I think they learned their lesson to a degree with the what were they called? The Pokemon from like Shining Fates. Crap, I can't remember their names. Amazing Rares. With the Amazing Rares, they kind of broke some stuff, especially with Lugia. So I think I'm trying to be a little careful because the Lugia could break these two theoretically. But I think this is very good. I think Unified Beatdown will absolutely see some play. Yes, you have that restriction on your first turn, but I think that's fine. And we'll look at some of the Stadium card, or the Stadium card I think is up first, actually. Yes, this is what makes it so good. So if anybody remembers Skyfield, this is a very similar card. Yeah, so if a player has a Tera Pokemon in play, that player can have 8 Pokemon on their bench. So basically, if you have a Tera Pokemon, you have Skyfield effect. When this card leaves play, or that player no longer has a Tera Pokemon in play, that player discards bench Pokemon until they have 5 Pokemon on the bench. If both players discard, the owner of this card discards first. So basically, you have Skyfield. So you can have 8 Pokemon on the bench. If anybody remembers Eternatus VMAX, a very similar situation here. Eternatus VMAX required you to have all Darkness-type Pokemon. In this case, you just have to have a Tera Pokemon in play. So if you have Dragapult VMAX, or Dragapult EX, for example, you have access to Area 0 Underdepths and can make your bench real huge. Obviously, this is designed for Terapagos EX so that you can have a large bench and do that big multiplier for your first attack and do some good damage. Mm-hmm. But this is good. I like it. Speaking of good cards, Crispin is up next. Crispin says, it's a supporter for the record. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards of different types, reveal them, and put one of them into your hand. Attach the other energy to one of your Pokemon, and then shuffle your deck. So you're not only getting 2 energy out of your deck, so you can attach one with the effect of Crispin, and then if you have not already attached for turn, you can then attach the other for turn. So you're getting basically 2 energy into play for the effect of playing a supporter card. I think it's pretty good. Is it like a 4 of in every deck? Absolutely not, but I think it's pretty decent. And maybe a 1 of in some decks, like perhaps Dragapult even. And then finally, Sparkling Crystal is an A-Spec Pokemon tool card. The attack cost of the Tera Pokemon this card is attached to is reduced by 1 of any type of energy. So this is an instant -1 for the attack cost of these Tera Pokemon that have these complicated attack costs, and you can make them a little bit easier to use with Sparkling Crystal. The only thing I'll say is Sparkling Crystal I think will be better once Lost Vacuum rotates. So right now Lost Vacuum is in format, and that's going to, if this gets hit with Lost Vacuum, it's gone for the whole game. But once Lost Vacuum rotates, it'll be even better. Right now, it's still good. Don't get me wrong. 'Cause it's a proactive tool. You're attaching it, getting your attack. But once Lost Vacuum rotates, you could theoretically recur this.
And then then we have the reveal of a Stellar Miracle deck build box. It'll also release on July 19th, cost 4,200 yen. It'll just come with 171 cards, like 16 Pokemon, 53 trainers, 6 special energy, 96 basic energy. It's a card box, comes with dividers, a V-Star marker. This is just those products that help players build decks. So you can see it has like reprints.
This is basically Japan's Trainer's Toolkit is what it is.
But
although interestingly, we did not get a Trainer's Toolkit this year. Did you notice that?
I didn't, actually. This will also come with a new type of basic energy, or sorry, not a new type. Basic energy with, new artwork featuring like a crystallized pattern. Like the...
I do wonder if we'll get these here. You think we'll get them with our Scarlet and Violet 7 set?
Yes, we are going to get these. I can't say
so?
how, but we are going to get these.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. It was actually, so I was actually driving people back from the Pride Parade when this reveal dropped. And it was just, wait, what was I saying? Oh, I had a thought. I lost my thought. Oh, so I was actually driving people back from the Pride Parade yesterday. As this was revealed, and I was like, oh my God, it's a whole new set. I'm in so much trouble. I can't post about it right away, blah, 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 blah. But actually, it wasn't that big of a reveal. It was just a couple cards. So,
I mean, it was 8 cards. It's not a little.
Well,
but...
I mean, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, it was a new like mechanic, and
and thankfully, Jake and I,
you were messaging me as the reveal was happening, and I was driving. And I was like, should I pull over? But I have people in the car. I'm not going to hold them hostage for a news story. Although I have done that in the past, or I've pulled over on the freeway before to post a story.
It's a good thing,
but
it's a good thing Law noticed too, because it was because of him that we actually noticed there was reveals, and Jake and I started translating stuff to make sure that they were all ready to go for the story.
Well, I saw that they were being officially revealed, but the timing was horrible with me taking people back. But I was just surprised because as it was coming in, I couldn't really comprehend how much was revealed. So I was like, oh my God, this is going to take like 2 hours to cover. And I'm like driving people home, and but then when I actually sat down, it was only maybe a half hour of coverage. It wasn't that bad. So, it was just, all I had to say was, okay, here's what Stellar Pokemon are. Here's the translations done. So that wasn't thank God it wasn't like there's been some stories where it takes like hours and you have to like analyze what the new mechanics are and like explain it well and whatever. But this was just,
there's no new mechanic here.
Pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what else did we get this week? I can't really think. What
didn't we get this week? We had our full reveal for Night Wanderer.
Oh God,
so speaking of more cards.
Okay, so Night Wanderer.
We got a lot to talk about.
Okay, so
we have some really cool art here.
Yeah.
I would love to highlight the Houndoom, super cool, but Beware is so cool.
I love the lights.
If you're familiar with the anime, and just how terrifying Beware from the Sun and Moon anime was with Team Rocket and how it treated them and how it was like the big mama basically.
Yeah.
This is like the perfect card art. I love it so much.
It was funny. It felt like every time there was a new Sun and Moon set, every set had like a Beware in it. Wasn't that a thing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
not
like
really.
It
but
was.
There were a decent number of them.
It felt like every set had a new Beware in it. I could have sworn.
No.
Or maybe
I
it just
wish
felt
Beware
that
was
way.
Awesome.
Well, it felt like it got a lot more cards. It got a lot of attention, probably because of the anime.
If it did get a lot of cards, it was because it was such a big part of the anime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and this I love the lighting on the back of its head here.
I love the Beware so much.
And Colress and Cassiopeia / Penny. I think I said this in a previous episode, but I feel like we've had a lot of Colress cards in the past.
Yes, we have. Somebody loves Colress.
Yeah. All right. So we also got in this set grass type Galvantula and Joltik, which was nice to see. We had a water type Sneasel and Weavile, which was nice to see. What else did we get that was it's a pretty small set?
So it was new.
Yeah,
It is a small set.
Kyurem. Nice to see them with their alternate types.
I think there aren't a whole lot of interesting new cards in this set that we haven't already talked about. Mm-hmm. So I think there are 2 trainer cards and a single Pokemon that I think we should talk about. Let's look at the trainer cards first.
As I scroll down to them.
So the trainer cards, there is a stadium card called Knight Academy.
Oh, of course, the last card of the set. Let's scroll all the
Knight
way
Academy
down.
says once during each player's turn, that player may put a card from their hand on top of their deck. So you're taking a card from your hand and rigging your top deck with that card. So if you're looking for, I don't know, to guarantee at least 1 energy for your electric generator, well, guess what? Knight Academy is your guy. You can load that up, get it out, and be done with it. In Expanded, probably not good enough to do this, but you could do it. You could put a top entry Pokemon on top of your deck right before you pass turn, and then on your next turn, you would magically draw into your top entry Pokemon, and it would be pretty fun. So, yeah, this card's going to see some play. I don't know how much, but it's a good effect. Power Hourglass is a Pokemon tool card that says, at the end of your turn, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot, you may attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to that Pokemon. This is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is super good. Especially if you're going to first and you know your Pokemon is not going to get knocked out. Like maybe you have a very bulky Pokemon like Raging Bolt in the active spot. Yeah, this is just free acceleration. It's super good. Yeah, I'm super hype on this card. I think it's going to see some play.
What do you think was their thought process behind having an hourglass, like to speed up energy attachment?
Look,
it's like a
sure. I mean, the flip side to that is what was their thought process on making a frying pan
I know.
a protection for metal Pokemon? I don't know.
It's like, how did they come up with
They
these?
have some sort of illicit substance in the design labs. That's all I'm saying.
So wait. If you were to come up with an item card that lets you attach a basic energy from your discard pile, wouldn't it have something to do with like trash or I don't know, like
or like lasers or energies of some sort? Yeah, like
I don't know. An hourglass
something.
is not what I would think of, but
no, not for me either.
Anyway,
but it's. I mean, I don't care what the picture is on the card. I care what the effect is.
Of course, yeah.
And in this
I'm
case,
looking
it's
at
super
it as
good.
like
So.
as a
Collectors just think trainers are all garbage anyway. So
yeah, I guess so. Did you want to look at the Galvantula or was it the Hypno?
no, I don't think it's very good. The Pokemon I want to look at is Revavroom EX.
Oh, of course.
So Revavroom EX is a Tera Pokemon. It is Lightning type. It would normally be Metal. Mm-hmm. In this case, it has Tera. It is now Tera Lightning. So the effects rather of its attacks here are for Metal. You have Accelerating Flash, 20 damage. 20 plus damage rather. If this Pokemon moved from your bench to the active spot during this turn, this attack does 120 more damage. This is very similar to Rapid Strike Urshifu V Max's Gale Thrust, I believe it is. It does, the extra damage if you've moved from the bench to the active. Same thing here, so you get that boosted damage. And then for Metal, you have Speed Break, which does 250 damage. And then you discard this Pokemon and all cards attached to it. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I like it very much, frankly. But you do 250 damage, and then theoretically, once it's discarded itself, you could put a menace Pokemon in the active, so something like Fluttermane or Iron Thorns or something along those lines to help annoy the crap out of your opponent and slow them down or prevent them from doing whatever it is they need to do to win. So,
cool beans.
Yeah, that's to me, that's the other card we're talking about. I genuinely think most of the rest of the cards in the set that have that weren't already revealed aren't that interesting.
Did we talk about Kingdra last episode? No, we did.
I believe so.
Yeah, we did. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's Night Wanderer. We'll be getting that as our Shrouded Fable set in August. That was Night Wanderer. All right, now here's a fun...
Okay, time for you to shine.
This is a fun news story. Cardmarket is taking legal action against people who manipulate the market prices of cards on their platform and is seeking damages. So Cardmarket, which is often dubbed the European version of TCG Player, appears to be taking legal action against sellers who manipulate the market prices of Pokemon cards on its platform. In a cease and desist letter obtained by PokeBeach, which is me, the company. I don't know why I always say like, sounds more official, I guess, to say obtained by PokeBeach. The company has accused a seller of creating over 200 fake accounts to manipulate the price of the Pikachu with gray felt hat promo card. This troublemaker Pikachu card that has caused so much controversy since its debut, last year? Can't even remember now. It feels like it's been out
I'm so tired of hearing about this Pikachu.
It's such a troublemaker. I don't think any of us expected it to cause as much.
Stupid yellow mouse.
You had scalpers working with
gray hat.
You had scalpers working with museum employees to get the card and merchandise. You had a bunch of bikers, teenage bikers that came and what did they do? They like threatened some of the scalpers and robbed them or something. What was one of the news stories I posted? You had museum employees getting fired. You had embezzling. You had stealing from the factories. I mean, there was so much. You had people overwhelming the poor Van Gogh Museum and their employees trying to get the card. You had the Pokemon Center like screwing up their drop of this card. Oh, this Pikachu. Sorry, what was the story again? So Cardmarket has sent a cease and desist letter to a seller for creating over 200 fake accounts to manipulate the price of the card. So in this type of fraud, the seller uses fake accounts to buy, quote unquote, buy the cheapest listings without paying for them. So this temporarily removes those cards from the marketplace because the buyers have time to load up their credit card to buy the card. So what these scammers do is they pretend to buy, like they're going to buy the card because they have it in their cart. They're going through the checkout process, but they don't actually intend to buy it. So it removes that card from the marketplace. This then allows the seller to offer their own listings for what they want the cheapest price to be. So what they do is they go through and eliminate all of the cards that cost less than what they want to offer. And then that allows their card to thus be the cheapest card. And that's how the scam works. So in the letter that Cardmarket sent to the seller, quote, they wrote, "You bought competing offers that you never paid for, nor had the intention to do so. You consistently aim to provide the lowest price for this specific card on our marketplace. In a total of 31 cases, you were able to sell the Pikachu with gray felt hat card with this action. This behavior is anti-competitive and is at least punishable as fraud." Then in the letter, they accused the seller of causing over 12,000 euros in damages, which translates to about 13,000 US dollars. And the seller must pay Cardmarket or the company will presumably take them to court.
I mean, it's good that they're taking some sort of action. Like this kind of manipulation, it can't be allowed to happen.
Yeah. And I think companies are getting more aware of what's been going on. Like we had... what was it last week? What was the PSA story I wrote about? I already forgot. What did I write? It was
the people that were creating fake PSA labels.
Yeah. So PSA is going after Cardmarket's going after people. So I like that the companies are becoming more aware of what fans have been complaining about over the last year or so, because this is becoming a problem in our game where these people come in, they look at Pokemon as an investment opportunity, and some of the more what's the word, unscrupulous, what's the word, some of the more bad actors try to take advantage of our hobby to do these sorts of things. So I like that companies are getting more on top of it. And that they're taking action, and Cardmarket, they didn't make like any kind of public statement about this. This was through my own research, so this isn't even something that they like did as a PR move, like maybe the way that PSA did last week, because PSA worked with the FBI and they made like a whole announcement about it and everything. And that was obviously like a marketing move. Cardmarket did this like quietly, and it was just because I found out about it that I reported it. So it's nice to see that these companies are actually concerned, or at least in the case of Cardmarket, that they're actually concerned about it and taking quiet action. And I'm sure other companies do this sort of thing too, and we just don't hear about it. But I just like that they're not allowing people to get away with it. So I guess that's my takeaway. Earthquake! 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 There was just an earthquake. Everything
on
shook.
camera. That's Terapagos. That's Terapagos.
It's something just
terrestrializing.
Yeah, it's something just Gigantamaxed outside. Wow. Well,
oh Lord, it's Chunky Pikachu.
If I go on Facebook right now,
it's John. It's Chunky Pikachu in a gray felt hat.
If I go on Facebook right now, everybody's gonna say earthquake, earthquake. Well, that was very short. It was like a 6 second earthquake. Poor my kitty ran. Anyway, back to the Pokemon news.
Smart cat. Yeah, but I'm tired of this Pikachu.
Yeah, me too. What else did we get this? I think it was just the
we saw some secret rares. We saw some of the reveals.
Let me go back to the Night Wanderer story and we can look at all of the secret rares that were revealed. So we had this. We already talked about those. We had the Zorua on top of the, what is this, like a pagoda or something?
It's some sort of building,
like a Japanese old style building, and it's got. I love that it has on the ends of the. It's got like the dark type symbol. Do you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then sleeping there, and then we had the fracture. I guess like chilling in front of a waterfall, meditating or something. And then what else did we have? We had the Janines.
I think that's the Floor Janine. Yeah, for the most part, we've seen most of these, but like there's just some really good art in this set. Mm-hmm. So that Houndoom is still the Houndoom and the Beware are like my favorites, though. I love them both.
I like the Horsey the best because I'm biased.
I can't imagine why. I know one of my friends, when we were talking about these last night on my live stream, they're like, I feel like that Horsey is the next icon for Poke Beach.
Oh no, I like the I have this one on
the one from Burning Shadows.
Yeah, I like that one the best. I have the McDonald's hollow one under the glass on my desk. I always look at it. I do need to change that avatar though to something else that's not. I'd rather do like something that's more custom instead of using like official card artwork. I'll do that eventually once I redo the layout of the website. That's on my to-do list right now, along with a bunch of other things coming to the website. And I was going to say, this set is very Halloween themed, as I mentioned before. You've got the dark, the poison, the ghosts.
The creepy beware.
The creepy beware. Yeah, it's obviously the Houndoom. It's very obviously a Halloween set. So I think that's it for the week.
Is it?
Yeah, that is it for the week. It's a good thing we delayed the episode yesterday because I got mad. I was like worked up yesterday morning because then we would have talked about pretty much only Night Wanderer if we'd recorded yesterday, and then wouldn't have had all the Stellar stuff to talk about. So it was a good.
So as for what we've got coming up this week, obviously both of us are going to be in AIC. Mm-hmm. I'm driving up with friends on Wednesday, so I should be there Wednesday evening or Thursday morning, depending on when you arrive. So I am very much looking forward to being at NAIC and meeting people and just kind of chilling. I am not playing as a competitor this year. I've chosen to not do that just so I can meet more people and run events and just have some fun. So
yeah, you're like you're a community person. You like to bring people together and promote the game.
Yeah, and then of course, because I have that I'm going to have that Eternal Archive on me. When it's not time for the tournaments, I will be more than willing to sit down with people and just play a casual game of Eternal format and have fun with it.
Do you have a Rain Dance deck or a Feraligatr Neogenesis deck?
I do not. Oh. One of my friends has a Blastoise Rain Dance deck. It's technically Deluge, but it's the same idea. But he will not be at NAIC, so.
Oh, I was going to say I'm going to have to triple stab your friend for the deck.
Triple stab. No. My box there's 12 different decks. I put a video out on my channel on Wednesday about it. I have what were the deck lists I had at the time for it. So some of the decks have changed slightly, but they're same idea. But yeah, there are 12 different decks. There's from Dragapult for Eternal format, and Blacephalon, and Charizard, and Miraidon. There's a bunch of variety of
water
different
in
decks.
any of that.
Yeah, one of my friends, the one that is coming, will be bringing Palkia.
Okay.
That one's really good. So if you'll have to dibs that one from him, so that he can play that.
Sounds good. Well,
Yeah.
So we'll be at NAIC. I don't know what we're going to do about the episode next week. Maybe we'll try. I don't want to bring all this equipment to. I don't think my laptop can record. I don't think it's powerful enough.
I mean, mine could. I don't think recording is that hard of a thing to do, honestly. But we're just having decent sound. We may not have very good sound on next week's episode. Just a warning for everyone. But I think we're going to record something
there. Oh God.
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should. Even if it's just a short, like 10-minute, like, hey, we're at an AIC episode. I think it's worth it.
I wonder what we're gonna get next week. I don't think we're gonna. I think Stellar Miracle, they'll probably, because it's usually like they'll do a first reveal and then like 2 weeks later we'll get like more cards. I don't know if we're gonna get anything this week.
So next week we should start. Next week we're gonna see the rest of the secret rares from Night Wanderer. That should be our
that's right. Yeah.
next week.
I'll be doing that on Tuesday, Wednesday, covering that.
Yeah.
Well, cool. All right. Well, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We love reading your comments, so let us know what you think about what we talked about. And if you're at NAIC, come say hi. We love meeting people.
For sure. See everyone next week.
All right. Have a good week, everybody. Happy Pride. And yeah, bye.
And type Dratini in the comments if you got this far.
No, don't do Dratini. Do something. Do quack, 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 quack. Quack, quack.
Just do Dratini.
No.
Ignore the dancing duck.
No, do quack, 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 quack. How do you say its name? Or do Sylveon.
Put Sylveon and Dratini. How's that?
Okay. All right. We'll see you all next week. Goodbye.
See you next week.